The Irish, when they first arrived, were considered the lowest of the low by most Americans. They were very poor. Most of them were illiterate or even just semi-literate. They congregated in slums, and they were blamed for that. And as a result, the reputation of the Irish suffered. And so most Americans developed, through the things they read in the newspapers and also through political cartoons, a very negative impression of the Irish, to the extent that some Americans saw them as worse than the other group that they certainly had very low opinion of, African Americans. We tend to think of the derogatory cartoons of African Americans showing them as apes or as chimpanzees. If you look at the mid-19th century cartoons of Irish Americans, they are shown in almost the exact same way, as animalistic, simian features, very ape-like, to convey a very powerful sense that these are people who are not fully human. The other thing that's interesting about this is that Irish and blacks tended to share the same neighborhoods. So if you went to the Irish neighborhood in New York, that was also where Little Africa was located. So there was a lot of fear among outsiders that there was a lot of racial intermixing, a lot of interracial marriage, and a lot of interracial sharing of cultures and so on. We see today that this is what ultimately produces something like tap dance, which is a combination of Irish steps and African traditional steps born in a place in New York City in an Irish black neighborhood. But at the time, this is seen as a supreme threat to white middle-class America.